All right, Jonathan, thank you for joining us on the Spider Success Podcast. I'd like for you to go ahead, introduce yourself, what sport you played, the class you graduated with, and your major, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. I appreciate the invite, RD. I wish I had the fresh look like you got going on right now, but I'm here with you guys. So I'm Jonathan Benjamin. I am from Rochester, New York. I'm living in the Richmond area now. I was a class of 2013 graduate, played basketball 2009 to 2013, and I was in the business school, business administration with a concentration in marketing. So those years that people remember, obviously the team is doing amazing right now, but we were in the NCAA tournament in 2010, went to the Sweet 16 in 2011, and it was an amazing experience working with Coach Mooney and life-changing, but it set me on the right path. So, yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So now when you come back to the games, you got to go through the normal entrance. You don't come through the tunnel, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That normal entrance or sitting up top. Those are my goals. When the games look great from up there. They've done amazing with the year after I left. They did all the renovations. So it's been great to see the team and continuing to win. And Coach Mooney is one of the biggest impacts on my life, man. So can't say enough.
Hey, there you go. So, Jonathan, go ahead, give us a rundown. Where are you now? What are you doing?
Sure. So especially coming out of University of Richmond, when I graduated, I actually was a summer basketball league intern at CarMax for a couple years. So I know there's a gentleman there, Brandon, right, that you work with. He and I kind of crossed paths there.
Yeah.
But when I finished up, I actually got a job at this company called the Frontier Projects in Richmond. But the CFO, she actually got her master's at U of R. So using Spider Connect, if anyone's listening to this and wants some advice, that's exactly what I went through. And was working out of 5 years in consulting. I was working in product innovation there. Also worked at CoStar for a year.
There we go. So, that's one of our big supporters.
Yeah, one big Richmond supporters, of course, and Richmond-based company. And then right now I work with Robert Half, right? So Robert Half is staffing and recruiting for finance and accounting, and work with big accounting positions, helping people make the right match, whether it's a candidate side or clients, all the biggest companies in the Richmond area and up and down the East Coast. So along the way, I met a lot of, alumni, got introduced to some folks, and, been able to do investments outside of work and, run, I have a marketing company that I run as well. Yeah, so it's been great. And, U of R, I'm not just saying it just because we're on here, but the Spider connections across the country, across the town, city, have made everything really work out.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I've talk to our student athletes about, being at a smaller liberal arts school. By the time your second month on campus, there are no new faces, everybody. So it develops that tighter knit when it comes to alumni and all that. So you could reach out to people, and, Spiders for Life is a real thing.
Real thing, for sure. And thanks for the invite the other day too, going to the etiquette dinner. Mm-hmm. Right. Everything that you all touched on is 100% true. And I was sitting at the table with some folks, a young lady on the soccer team. I was sitting with baseball guys and football players and letting them know, make sure you get everybody's number, make sure you connect with everybody on LinkedIn, and not just everybody that you saw at that dinner, but your classmates, like upperclassmen, lowerclassmen, every other team. That's how the world works. You're surrounded by some of the next leaders in the world at all moments at U of R.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because that's another thing that we also bring up is like, the people that are going to get out and do well. So get in with them now, keep that relationship going. So when they're CEO of some company, and either help out business wise, or if you're in a position like I am, where I am trying to make connections so we can get some internships and job opportunities, you could do that. And this is where you get started, because, you have those classmates that are going to end up doing well. So
100%.
LinkedIn makes it easy. That's the professional Facebook, as they say.
Yeah, and or they're friends with those people, right?
They're friends. Yeah, your was it your network is your net worth?
Word. That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
And
And
this
one
is
of the biggest
great.
things that I saw, man, was honestly, coming out of school, though everyone loves to talk sports. You go into any category when it comes to industry, if you're the business school, if you're in, Jepson leadership, all those things, people love talking sports, right? So whether they played or if they didn't play, it's one of the it's like a universal language around the world is talking sports, right? So where if you're a student athlete, you're well versed in that, right? And you have some credibility. So that's easy icebreaker for any student athlete out there. Like that's what I've used, coming out of University of
Oh,
Richmond.
God, yeah. And so, in your role as a recruiter, have you? I'm coming up with this question right now. When you're reaching out to people in recruiting, are there attributes that you find athletes have that you're looking for in your role as a recruiter?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's a level of ambition mixed with a level of discipline that comes with being a student athlete.
Yeah.
We didn't have any spring breaks, preferably not having spring breaks because we want to be playing in the tournament.
Right.
Right. From a basketball perspective, also summer breaks, we were on campus. Right. So the level of discipline that you're not even thinking about going through, waking up 6 a.m. and, being at, class straight to D hall, then next to study hall. That's preparing you for the rest of your life.
Right.
Right. I know there's a lot of folks that are going to end up playing professional sports, but that discipline from a job perspective is amazing. And then also the teamwork aspect is so necessary. Being able to work with different personalities,
Yep.
different. How do you handle adversity? How do you handle stress and pressure? Not everyone gets that real time training the same way that we did 4 years, playing in college or however long a student athlete might have in that opportunity. So we look for those things 100%, and just that personality, being able to get outside your comfort zone. That's something in basketball we always talk about talking, right?
Yeah.
Being able to communicate. That's something that employers love, and they can tell right away when you start talking.
Man, great points. And that's a thing I think we as administrators have to do a better job of helping our student athletes understand, because as a student athlete, you've been doing this schedule your whole life. So you don't know what it is not to be waking up early to go to practice, lift, go to class, go to treatment. And that is a special skill that they have cultivated that we have to continue to just thresh out and show them, like, people are looking for this in the working world, in the world of employment. So I'm thank you for getting into that. Let's see what else. You answered most of my questions here. Here's an opportunity for you, just kind of advice that you would give seniors that are transitioning from being a student athlete to getting out into the working world. Advice that you can have for them.
I would just say be vocal. Be vocal about what you want. Understand what you want and why you want it. Understand that the world, I think over the last couple of years, we see how fast things can change.
Yeah.
Right. So being able to pivot and being able to think outside the box. I started a clothing line as a junior in, a principles of marketing class doing May term. Right.
Oh,
Think about, yeah. So that got on, all those different NIL things back then. Today you have a lot more opportunities that I might not have had.
right.
I just appreciated our coaching staff, our the folks that I guess it's compliance, all those different sides, but Coach Mooney and that team, they really supported me and allowed me, and that opened so many doors for me to just be able to go try things. I think University of Richmond gives you those opportunities to go, chase your dreams or go try things while keeping your sport the priority. Because, we're all there for a reason. We have things that we all know each other. The reason why we all know each other is, that athletic program, but the doors that are opened up, take you to that next step. So I would just tell anybody out there, just be vocal and, communicate with, whether it's your, Bruce Matthews and that team and your team, RD, and all those different folks when it comes to your teachers. Make sure they know who you are. Make sure they understand what you're looking for. And it's so easy sometimes, especially during the season, when you're working out, to just go straight to and from the Robins Center.
Yeah, to stay in your bubble.
Headphones on, sweatsuit on, go to and from. But those relationships, I know every student athlete that's in the workforce now, they probably had some type of connection that happened because they were able to get outside of their own bubble. And it might, you might be nursing an injury, whatever it might be, and you're not thinking about all those things, but just being yourself, making sure people know who you are. Being vocal would be my number one piece of advice.
That is great advice because, as an athlete, you are in an elevated position and you have eyes on you. So being vocal and expressing what it is that you're looking for, take advantage of the position that you have. I like that. So this is all I got, man. I really appreciate your time. This is very informative, and yeah, this is great. Thank you.
Of course, man. No, you're doing a great job. Appreciate you reaching out, and go Spiders, man. Go Spiders.
Go Spiders.